When William Samoei Ruto orchestrated a plan to impeach his former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, his hatred went beyond the circle of Rigathi Gachagua because we understand he has always said that Rigathi wanted to topple his government, and the closest allies of Rigathi Gachagua, like Major Donk, the member of parliament of Embakasi Central, I think, if I'm not wrong. Then we have Gakuya, also a member of parliament. The former members of parliament, Ngunjiri Wambugu and George Deuri, were investigated, and charges, I think, were recommended by the DPP. And the William Ruto, it's still believed that their cases are pending. In fact, there are fears that William Ruto could even level those charges against Rigathi himself, because when they target those members of parliament, they tend to say that they were working for Rigathi Gachagua. But then that hatred went beyond the very cycle. It went and it was extended to the employees, innocent Kenyans who are working to serve this nation, who are working to earn a living in the deputy president's office. Because just before Rigathi was fully impeached, even now he's not fully impeached because the court has not declared its verdict. But when the case was still in court, acting with impunity, William Ruto directed that the 108 employees in Rigathi Gachagua's office be sent on compulsory leave. And that was the height of impunity and hatred. Because William Ruto was saying, we know that there was a problem between him and the deputy president. Let us assume, I don't know, let us assume that what he was saying was true, that his deputy infiltrated the Gen Z's protest. Let us assume it is true. But how does he connect that to the people who are employed? They are Kenyans. They presented maybe their CVs, maybe competitively or because of the closeness of Rigathi Gachagua, they were appointed to work in that office. How does it connect them? And so people rushed to court, and this matter was filed as urgent. And the judge directed that they bring their appointment letters, because anytime you are employed in an office, you must have signed an appointment letter. So some of them requested that they were still looking for them, and today 51 staff of ex-DP Rigathi Gachagua present appointment letters to court. Now it is said that 51 employees of the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua have tabled their appointment letters as directed by judge in October. The 51 are among 108 employees of the former deputy president who challenged the decision by the government to send them on compulsory leave. Their lawyer, Soyanka Lempa, on Wednesday told Employment and Labor Relations Court Judge Helen Wasilwa that he needed time to get the contracts of the remaining workers. Justice Wasilwa granted him 2 days to get the rest of the contracts or amend his petition to remain with 51 workers who have tabled the contracts. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I really felt very sorry for the workers who are employed at Rigathi Gachagua's office, because we should not allow differences to extend and affect innocent Kenyans who are working in these offices just because some two people have got their wrangles. Because in this case, lawyer Lempa and the African Center for Peace and Human Rights went to court, and they named the Attorney General, Dorcas Oduor, Public Service Commission, and Head of Public Service Felix Kosgei as being responsible for all this mess. And when you look at it clearly, number one, ladies and gentlemen, this was tantamount to just victimization. You see, today, if I'm employed, for example, in Mudavadi's office, then Ruto decides that they are no longer reading from the same page. I should not be victimized because I'm not part and parcel of their angles. I don't know what became about them. And so it was wrong. It can never be right. It will never be right for a president to showcase his hatred to the people who have been employed in an office simply because they have differences with the former deputy president. It was also tantamount to politicizing the civil service. These are people who are working with Kenyans and they are supposed to be neutral. They are very innocent. So when you have some disagreements with Rigathi Gachagua, you should not involve them. And I've seen people say that how comes Rigathi Gachagua employed 108 employees? We have not checked. You've not told us how many have been employed by Ruto. How many have been employed in the First Lady's office? How many have been employed by the Chief Minister? We have not been told. So before we rush into criticizing, let us see whether this is the norm. Because we are in a government where everything trickles from the top. Then we sanitize the top and we start punishing people who are in the middle here. I've still not read the number of employees that have been recommended for the deputy president, so I cannot criticize. I don't know how many has been allowed to employ, but I'm sure that if you see we have 108 employees, then at the president's office, there could be 200. This decision was also tantamount to malice. That was malicious. And you see, the president is the symbol of national unity. He decided to punish people because they were aligned. According to him, they were aligned to his enemy, who was the deputy president. And as I said, it is wrong, and any sane Kenyan must condemn this in the strongest terms possible. Now, I want to say this. How comes it was only 51 out of 108 who brought their appointment letters? I have a question mark there. Now, if at all, because the judge has said that the judge has said that he will amend his ruling to cover only the 51 who brought their appointment letters. If the rest shall have not brought, then they will be left out in this case. If at all the rest will not bring their appointment letters, either because they lost or any other reason, then we need to go further to the other offices and find out whether we have ghost workers in those offices. My problem is trying to victimize individuals. I really hate selective justice. Just like we had said that we wanted kufa dereva kufa makanga. We didn't want makanga aende na dereva abaki because they are, in fact, in this government, they are playing tribal politics in terms of appointments. No one is clean, and that's why people wanted all of them to go, or both of them. We have seen Gachagua, those who are viewed to be close to Gachagua, being targeted, even in the parliamentary committees. Today, we understand that Ndindi Nyoro's neck could be on the chopping board because he decided to stay away from Rigathie's impeachment. He boycotted the swearing in of Rigathi Gachagua, and as such, they want to punish him. Surely, if we continue living in a country where we are being led by puppets, people who just want to be swayed, people cannot take a stand, then we are wrong. We cannot victimize people just because William Ruto was not reading from the same page with Gachagua. So we want to target anyone who is close to him. I understand that there could be a purge. They want to dissolve the cabinet. They want to dissolve even the PSS. To ensure that they accommodate the broad-based government, to ensure that they punish those who are close to Rigathi Gachagua. Let me tell you, I'm really particular about this because we will not grow as a nation if we keep on playing retributive politics like this. Because you want to tell me that as a Kenyan, I don't have a right. I only have a right when Raila has a handshake with the president. When there is no handshake, I don't have any right. But I also pay tax at the same time. The people who are aligned to Rigathi Gachagua are taxpayers. The people who are aligned to Mudavadi and Raila and who and those, we are all taxpayers. We are all shareholders. And that's why we kept on saying that the line that Rigathi Gachagua was taking about shareholding was not right, because everyone is a shareholder. And so, if these people are going to present their appointment letters, they must be reinstated or compensated according to the constitution. You cannot just wake up and you lose your job because your boss is not in good terms with the president or the executive. I could be wrong, but I think these were Kenyan. Some of them, had children in school, and then there was not even any notice, ladies and gentlemen. And then you tell someone, go home on compulsory leave. It doesn't happen that way. And I think on this, the government was wrong. And justice must be served, and served on time, because justice delayed is justice denied. Rigathi has really exposed William Ruto on this. With appointment letters, there is no any reason why you should send someone home, an innocent person who is not part of your battle and supremacy fight. And I could be wrong, but I really feel for them just the same way it could be you, happening to you.